Have you ever invaded hell to rescue a demon? Would you like to? I made an adventure that takes place on a battlefield in hell. The players will fight a lot of demons, but also face a number of puzzles and role-playing challenges which they can't overcome with punching. It's system and setting neutral and intended for mid to high level parties. I'll walk you through an overview of it, and there's a link to the full text with a lot more detail on how to run it. I'm Salty Nick. I talk about TTRPGs while making calligraphy. And this video is a part of the 2025 Dungeon Jam, where dungeon tubers are releasing their own take on the 5-room dungeon. Many of them aren't set in literal dungeons. The 5-room dungeon is a story structure more than it is an architectural guideline. If you're a new GM, I hope my video helps you see how you don't have to follow these structures literally, but can instead pluck elements out of them for inspiration. The adventure begins with the PCs teleporting into the lair of Bezament, a demon they're here to rescue from an archmage who is trying to bind it. I will not fault you for quirking your eyebrow and wondering why the players would ever want to do such a thing. Here's two options. Bezament is your warlock's patron, or the PCs were hired by an NPC warlock who lost all their powers once Bezament came under attack. In its lair, Bezament is at its most powerful, and the PCs have their first roleplay challenge. Convince it they're here to help, and are not agents of Archmage Ildan the Pure. Once convinced, the demon explains they are in a hill it shares with hell wasps, and the demonic hordes of Ildan are laying siege. The demon cannot leave this chamber and instructs the PCs to take down 3 pillars, sources of arcane power which Ildan has placed around the hill, after which they can face Ildan himself. The PC's first puzzle is deciding which way out they are taking. Going straight is easier, but puts the demon hordes between them and the pillars. Going underground is more dangerous, but lets them bypass most of the horde. Either way, they face the native hell wasps and the invaders that have made it in. Going deep underground reveals a secret room with the grave of a paladin. The pillars each have a different effect, a guardian, and can be visited in any order. The PCs have complete freedom on what to do with them. Destroy them, disable them, or even find a way to put them under their control. Basically, whatever they think of, let them roll a few checks, and then it works. An optional role-playing challenge with each demon leader is to find a way to turn them on each other. The Pillar of Infernal Glass is controlled and defended by insectoid demons, and its purpose is to summon large demonic brutes for the army, sprinkling them across the battlefield. The defenders are brutal, coordinated, and single-minded. They attack with no mercy, always focusing their attacks on one person. They will abandon their summoning once the fight starts, and the PCs quickly notice the pillar is starting to overload. A truly massive demon is about to arrive, unless they find a way to discharge the energies while dealing with the defenders. The Burning Dragonbone pillar has my favorite challenge of the entire adventure. The players must convince a long-dead dragon of their worth by narrating a flashback of their characters' lives in which they display some quality the dragon appreciates. The pillar is defended by demons of cannibal rot, the main one having the size and sex appeal of a landfill. The pillar grants frenzy to the army, and the main way to disable it is to allow it to draw you inside it, where you find yourself in a dream of a long-dead dragon. After convincing the dragon of your worth, you must promise to return its bones to their resting place once all of this is done. The PCs are then released, and the pillar crumbles into ashes. By the way, for each pillar the PCs take down, Bezament shares some of its power with them, and it's a lot of power. After 2, they should be powerful enough to face Ildan and his bodyguards. They could go all the way to 3, but my advice is to hurry them along. After 2, the battlefield floods with acid, and Ildan becomes aware of them. Elite demons converge on the party's position. The third place features 2 gibbets suspended on twin steel pillars, one housing a cracked bell, the other its clapper. The party must fix the bell and ring it 3 times. How will they fix it? That's a puzzle for them to figure out. How will they even know they need to fix it? Well, don't hide it from them. Once they start engaging with the bell in any way, like if the wizard says they're studying the flow of magic or the nature of the magical silence, have them realize it. Oh yeah, the location is blanketed in thick silence that makes communication and spellcasting difficult. Its purpose is to sap Bezament's power and block its senses. It is defended by shadow demons who reform no matter how many times they're killed. On the bright side, this faction of demons has the least alien minds. The PCs can communicate with them and convince them to betray Ilden more easily than they can the other two factions. And the fifth location in our 5-room dungeon is where the boss fight happens. Ilden works his magic atop a platform floating above Basement's hill. He is defended by arcane sigils, the strongest of demons, and some homebrew copper golems. His magic makes him near invulnerable, and the PCs are advised to come up with clever trickery to defeat him. Leave it up to them, but possibilities include breaking his control over his bodyguards, or convincing Basement to let itself be poisoned before Ilden draws it into himself, destroying him from the inside. Looking back at this adventure and the 5-room dungeon design, you can see how we've started with an entrance and its guardian, but then put puzzles and roleplay challenges in every location the players are meant to visit. As this is the very first dungeon I'm releasing, I would love to hear what you think of it, especially if you run it at your table. If it's well received, I'll keep making them. The linked PDF has more details on everything I've talked about, such as more ways to defeat Ilden, random events on the battlefield, tips on running fast combat, instructions on making stats for the copper golem, and so on. My friends, I hope you're enjoying Dungeon Jam. Check out the playlist with what others have made, and I hope to see you again at the tavern. I wish you steady winds and calm seas.